Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks. The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Friday is here. You've made it through the work week. In fact, you've made it through the first sixth of the year, the end of February. The madness begins tomorrow, although you can make a really fair case that it has already begun. What is up? Boy, do we have a lot to do today. Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Friday. Opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. That's a different background, dude. That's a different Marriott you're in today. What's up from beautiful Fresno, California?
Good morning.
How you living?
Living.
All right. Weather better in Fresno than it was in Laradise? A little less.
Not too bad.
Right.
Very nice.
Yeah. Isaiah's in today. He's producing. We actually got like a full staff today.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
3 days strong.
Yeah. How you living? You good?
I'm doing pretty good.
All right. Happy Friday to you. Lots to do today. So no Kenny Thomas today. Kenny is in the air. His flight was delayed. He was going to be back in time for the show, JJ, but he's probably going to be more so back in time for Barrelas because it's Friday morning, and that means all the big dogs gather at Barrelas for breakfast. And but no Kenny today. He'll be back in Tuesday at 8:30 this morning. We will talk some high school hoops because the state tournament brackets are coming out on this weekend. They'll have the big state tournament bracket unveil show over on ProView Networks. So Sebastian Noel, the voice of the people, is going to be with us. It's been a minute since you and I spoke with Sebastian, so it'll be good to catch up with Seabass. And one of the greatest times of the year around here, and we say this all the time, the state tournament, and Zay, you're going to learn this. If you get out to the pit like on Thursday or Friday of state tournament week, you'll realize, JJ, the state tournament in New Mexico at the pit, at the Santa Ana Star Center, is as good as there is anywhere in the country. That's been verified by people who have been all over the place. And it really is one of those things that people all over this state converge upon. And so we'll catch up with Seabass and see what you got to know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Always a great time of year.
All right, so we'll do that. That'll be at 8:30 this morning. 505-246-0610 is the number to get in. Lots of NFL news. You can send emails. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com and JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. On the X, it's _JJ Buck. We're back up on the YouTube channel for ProView Networks and Xfinity Channel 26 and our Facebook page, The OD in the AM. You can watch the show there. Adrian's producing for us today, as he always does. I as much as there's NFL stuff that really intrigues me, it got to start in the NBA. Lakers looked good again last night. 111-102. They beat Minnesota. LeBron James had another huge night. He went for 33, 17, and 6. Luka Doncic had 21 points and 13 rebounds. Big lead early, and they win. And then Steph Curry went for 56 points last night. You could tell me about all the new guys, and you could tell me about all the young guns, and we can cry about face of the league. All I know is these two old dudes are playing at a hell of a clip.
Yeah, Steph was insane, and LeBron had to do that last night. Now, like the Lakers got ahead early, but the Timberwolves came back, and Luka, as a Laker fan, it really reminded me back to the Kobe days when he just had those nights where he just couldn't hit anything, but he's a scorer, so he keeps shooting.
Until he threw in that 3 to beat the shot clock, which was ridiculous.
Yeah, and then he just hits the most impossible out of all the shots he put up. And Steph's remarkable. He might be the one guy when he hits those half quarters where we know it's not luck.
No, it's within range, dude. I mean, it's in his range. He's changed the game. I mean, JJ and I have had this conversation, right? For years, you can tell me who the best player of the generation is. You can have your argument, JJ, about best players of all time. I think one of the definitions of the greats is how did they change the game, right? Bill Russell changed the game. Magic Johnson, I think, changed the game, the way the point guard position was played. Certainly a guy at 6'9". Michael Jordan changed the game. Steph Curry changed the game. Range of shooters is something that we never, ever would have fathomed, and he's still doing it at a clip. He had 12 threes last night, JJ.
Yeah, and they were down double digits at halftime in that game to Orlando. And it was a game in which Paulo Banchero dropped 41 for the home
Oh, yeah,
team.
then there was that.
Steph Curry outshined him with an unbelievable performance. And this has been a year unlike we've seen in the NBA because it's reignited two greats and two teams that now think, man, we could be in the Western Conference Finals. And that's with the Warriors getting Jimmy Butler and the Lakers getting Luka. Like, we've never seen anything like this just mid-season in the NBA. And, Steph was already doing his thing, but now you have a legit number two. Draymond's never been the number two option for the Golden State Warriors.
No.
Now that you actually have Jimmy Butler there's a different confidence within that team. There's a different confidence from Steph Curry. And, he can have those nights and still scoring 56 points, a game changer. He is absolutely one of the greatest players to ever play the game. Now, I know he doesn't get thrown in there with LeBron and MJ in that conversation, but there's no doubt where Steph is in his legacy in the NBA.
Jimmy Butler had 5 points on 1 of 7 shooting last night. The Warriors are now 7th. And remember, they were hovering right around that 10-11 line not long ago. They made the trade. They are in 7th. Of course, 6 is the magic number to stay out of the play-in tournament, and they are just a half game behind the Clippers, and that the Clippers have a game at hand. So they both have 32 wins. Clippers at 26 losses and the Warriors at 27. And I'm going to guess here in the next 3-4 weeks, the Warriors keep going at the clip they're at. They can climb up into that 6th spot, which is just a gigantic number to get them in. And boy, at that pace, be a hell of a first round series between Denver and Golden State, would it not?
Oh,
yeah, there's going to be matchups where you're going to be looking at yourself as a first-round team going, how did this happen?
Yeah.
I feel like, every time I turn on my phone, I always see at least one person with the conspiracy that, the owners of the NBA set up this Luka and Jimmy Butler trade deadline to save the league. Well, I don't believe that, but I do know that, it was like a bat signal in the sky calling for what can fix these NBA ratings. And since Luka's been traded, I know I was a little premature with yesterday saying that was the most watched game, but it did come out confirm that it was. And the last game that was more watched than that one was Luka versus the Nuggets. So, you've got these Luka games that are the most watched games in the league so far. So I feel like it's just maybe little things like that. I'm not saying that teams should go trade their stars just to benefit the NBA, but I do think what happened in the middle of the season did help the ratings, like right before our eyes. I think the ratings got fixed a little bit, made the league more interesting.
Well, I would look at trends too. I don't know that I think you're wrong because I think stars, if that league more than any league, and you may argue with me on baseball, but I just don't know that baseball resonates that way. Mm-hmm. That league more than any league is star driven, right? You can tell people how good Cleveland is, but if the league, honestly, and how good Anthony Edwards is, but if the league gets a Cleveland Minnesota final, I promise you the numbers aren't going up. As much as you and I will sit here and say that's really good, right? Last year we watched the West and Minnesota and Dallas were fighting, and it just didn't do it. Now Boston saved the NBA last year by getting into the NBA Finals, and you got a big market team with a big market name and some stars. That league more than anything, stars, and I'm not NBA stars, but more so crossover stars save that league. And you guys can argue with me, you think I'm wrong, but you know how good Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is and how good Oklahoma City is. But I'm going to tell you, walk down the street in this town. Now, this isn't an NBA town, but you can go to L.A. Mm-hmm. Just go ask the common person. Go around this building. Ask them who the number 1 seed in the West is. Ask them who Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is and who he plays for. I mean, you and me all know that he's one of the best players in the league. They don't know. I mean, I'm going to tell you, people won't know who Anthony Edwards is. Mm-hmm. Right? Cade Cunningham? What the hell is a Cade Cunningham?
Yeah.
And so, to your point, and JJ, I'd love your thoughts on this because, I don't know that I think it's a conspiracy theory, but getting Jimmy Butler to play with Steph Curry and get another run out of them getting Luka to LA, which is, certainly in the West. I mean, you can scream Knicks all you want at me. They've been irrelevant for 30 years. Lakers and Celtics are the golden childs of this league, and they have been for 4 to 5 decades. And getting Luka there is spectacular, and it's just going to up the numbers and up the interest.
Yeah, I don't think there was a giant conspiracy from the top down for Jimmy Butler to act like a child all season long to force his way out of Miami, because that was a frustrating storyline for the NBA. But I think it's just, you take a step back in sports, there's a lot of good things out there, but again, it's the NFL is a juggernaut where every teams matter. It's a snapshot each week, right. Your fantasy football team, all this stuff. And the other leagues, you just have to realize that, it's going to be about winning moments, winning headlines. You're never going to be able to sustain an 82-game season, a 100-some-odd game season, and be the best thing out there. But for the NBA, I do think that even with the all-star frustration and a lot of the negative talk, that, yeah, this was one where the headlines swung people back to you because of the names that were traded. And again, we're at the point where it's NFL Combine, it's the draft, and that's going to dominate. You got March Madness, which is going to take over. Yep. But all right, you get to summer, and yeah, your season might be long, but it's your opportunity to have meaningful sports headlines and conversation when you get to the playoffs.
And it's going to lead kind of into what we're going to talk about next. And there's part of me that hates saying, hey, nobody's watching, so let's keep talking about it, right? Because, we're talking about ratings are down, but let's talk about why. And it bothers me a little bit, but, and I'm going to throw a but at you. JJ, I don't know if you heard this, and I hadn't heard it. Zay, when we come back, I'm going to let you read LeBron's quote after last night about being face of the league, because it's going to be really interesting how you react to this. And I'm not asking you, I'm asking you, the listener, how you react to what LeBron James said about being face of the league and kind of coming after people. I certainly have my thoughts on it. But JJ's going right in this perfect segue into that is, obviously if people are talking bleep about the league, then there's something to talk, then there's bleep to be talked about. It's not just they're hating on you or they're hating on the product. So when we come back, there's been this conversation, is Anthony Edwards the face of the league? Does he want to be face of the league? Does anybody want to be face of the league? Why the hell would you want to be face of the league? Why would you not want to be face of the league? I don't even know what face of the league means. And put it on the board, and that can be your new fantasy football team name, right? But when we come back, LeBron James had this to say about being the face of the league. Why would you want to do it? And kind of went after people. And I'm really interested in how this is going to be perceived. Sebastian Noel at 8:30. We're going to get into the high school basketball tournament, which starts next week. Zay's in, JJ's in Fresno. I'm merely Jeff Symbieta in downtown Albuquerque. Thank you for being with us on a Friday morning and every morning on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Sy.
Sports Animal, would you tell me 1:30 pregame, 2 o'clock tip Mountain Time?
Yes.
All right. The Lobos in Fresno State, and a big one right here on the Sports Animal. We are inside of 2 weeks now. The Mountain West Conference Tournament will be there, the Sports Animal, as we always are, in Las Vegas. The opening drive will come to you from Las Vegas, and we'll be at the Mountain West Conference Tournament bringing it all to you. I want to say thank you to the partners who are making sure that we are there for you. Airport parking, safe, secure, and the lowest price to park at the Sunport. Korish Law Injury Lawyers, serving New Mexico for 5 generations. Echo Electric, your P&M authorized car charger installer. Frank's Supply Company, find whatever tool you need for every job. John Thomas Jewelers, see why they have been voted the best jeweler in Albuquerque for 4 straight years. DSI, Document Solutions Incorporated. Frontier Restaurant in Albuquerque, tradition for 50 years. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views, and Blake's Lotaburger, a New Mexico tradition for 52 years. Yep, that's a lot of partners, but that's how many people are into Lobo basketball and obviously into helping the show. And I want to say thank you to all of our partners. All right. Zay hit me with this. So lay out the context. JJ, Zay said to me, "Did you hear what LeBron just said?" I said, "No, I did not." So lay this out, the context. I guess the context is, is Anthony Edwards going to be the new face of the league? And Lakers and Wolves played last night. I guess LeBron was asked about that.
Yes, pretty much. So Channing Frye actually came out like a few days ago, and he posted a viral video, and he came out and he's like, because, Ant has, everyone notices that Ant seemingly doesn't want to just own the title, the face of the league. And Channing Frye drops a video. Channing Frye played with LeBron, played against Kobe. And he comes out and he's like, Ant doesn't want to be the face of the league because everyone talks down on it. Like, why would you want to be the face?
Talks down on the league.
Yes. Why would you want to be the face of the league when every single game people are just going to compare you to Jordan and compare you to what used to be? So he's like, people forget that Michael Jordan wasn't, always just the winner that you think he is. People forget that Kobe quit on the Lakers and didn't take shots versus the Suns in the playoffs in 2006. And he brings up all these things, and he's like, they get a pass, but nowadays you get criticized too much.
They didn't get a pass in the moment, and that's what people don't remember, or you guys weren't around. They didn't get a pass in the moment. They were living through it just like these guys were, just in a pre-social media world. Go on.
Great point. So then the reporter, comes across LeBron with it, because him and Channing Frye are boys. And LeBron's like, yeah, I completely agree. And the quote is, why do you want to be the face of the league when all the people that cover and talk about our game on a day-to-day basis bleep on everybody? Obviously, I didn't ask for it. I feel Ant. I understand. This is weird energy when it comes to that. And in the actual quote, he's too many bleep outs, but he multiple times he says that it's weird energy out there and that people covering the sport are generating weird energy. So I think that's like directly at Shaq and Chuck.
All right, I got thoughts. JJ, what do you hear there?
I hear some frustration that's real with the NBA, but it's nothing, again, that should surprise any of these leagues not named the NFL. It's going to be a battle, and you're always going to be well behind when you look at your status and ratings in the sports world. I think that what you said, Jeff, is right. I do think it's easy to forget that we've held star players accountable forever in sports. And if fans are going to have discussions with their friends, if they're going to be on social media, if there's going to be sports talk radio, things aren't always going to be, Skittles and rainbows. And you have to hold people accountable. You have to hold businesses and teams accountable. Like, this is billion-dollar industries, multi-million-dollar athletes. And if you question their performance and their willingness at times, so be it. That's part of it. And I think that this NBA leadership group, whoever that may be, LeBron James, the talking heads, are really at a tipping point of, have we ever seen someone like this? Even when Michael Jordan came back, he was still Michael Jordan, but he wasn't the linchpin of the league when he was with the Wizards. Still LeBron is at this point in time with the Lakers. And so I can get his frustration about it, of just trying to be the face of the league, but I absolutely don't agree that you don't want to be the face because negative things are said. Negative things are said about everything and everyone in the sports world.
So when you opt to live in the public eye, and I don't care if that's an athlete, a musician, an actor, a politician, hell, a sports talk radio host, right? And obviously varying degrees on all of them. Part of what comes with it is scrutiny, okay? I mean, it just is. And the more successful, the more you will be talked about, period. And I got so many thoughts on this. First of all, why are people bleeping on the league? Okay, obviously, if you feel that the people who cover the league and whatever are bleeping all over, get out of your bubble for a second. Okay, step away. And it's so easy for all of us to get just entrenched in our little worlds, because that's what we're in your big world. I'm not demeaning their world, but my point is, obviously, there's something to bleep on. Like if you feel that everybody is crapping on your league, on your product, on you, then evidently there's something there that maybe you need to step away and get a different perspective on what's going on, okay? Those athletes say we didn't forget or those of us who lived through it, we haven't forgotten. Michael Jordan, all those guys, they were scrutinized in their time in a pre-social media world, whether it was in the newspapers or whether it was in talk radio.
He used to be hated at times.
Okay, so we don't forget it. And I will tell you, this is no different than the president getting, people don't like what he's doing. And he's, well, if you don't like me, you're wrong. And if it's LeBron, well, people are bleeping on the league. Why would I want to be the face of it? I'm going to say this, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong. This is, I almost said the most, but I'll go with one of the most thin-skinned megastars we've ever seen in sports. In LeBron, everything really, really, really hits him, and he feels he's defensive. Now, I understand why. He's 22 years in the league. People have never gotten over the decision, right? The not 3, not 4. Look, that was the worst thing that ever happened to him. Now, there's been a lot of great things that happened to him, and I hear you out there saying, "Get over it, man." No, that's fine. I can get over it. I just don't think many people can, and that started a trajectory. Remember, there was a time where LeBron is like embraced being the villain, and he tried to, but he wasn't good at that. Now he wants everybody to love him. LeBron wants to be loved so bad. He does. And he doesn't understand why everybody doesn't love him. He does really good things, dude. By all accounts, he's a great father. He's a good family man. There's no arrest. There's no drug accusations. There's no beating his wife, adultery stuff out there. Look, and I say all that. You and I don't know him. But there's no public reports of that. Like all of those things, he's done so many good things. He builds schools. Like there's so many good things LeBron does. And I think he sits there and goes, man, but yet y'all still crap on me. And so I understand where he's coming from. But anybody who's at that level is going to